Abnormal Andy and Phantom Dark Dave. The Screaming Skull Podcast.
What's up, everybody? You're listening to a brand new episode of the Screaming Skull Podcast. We are your host. I'm Phantom Dark Dave.
And I'm Abnormal Andy.
And we're back to talk about a movie that Andy chose, and I'm so curious as to why he chose this one. But before we do that, Andy, there's been some recent Scream news.
Yeah, we're going to do a little news for you.
Horror News.
All right, so I saw that Scream 7 is now streaming on demand.
Yeah.
Even though it's still in the theater, but it's on demand, so that's cool, I guess.
It's the way of the future, my dude.
So there's that. And then also I saw that Scream 8 is now officially in development. We kind of knew that Scream 8 was coming with the financial success of Part 7. But so Scream 8 has the writers confirmed. And it's a couple of sisters, the Zuckerman sisters.
Yep.
Now, I don't really know anything about them. I think they've mainly done like TV stuff. They've done like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Haven and Poker Face. I don't know. These are some TV shows.
Yeah, those are all TV shows. I've actually seen a couple episodes of Haven. I really liked it.
Okay.
It's got some Stephen King stuff to it.
Oh, nice.
And Poker Face, I know, was pretty successful. It has the one girl from the American Pie trilogy. She was the friend. But one thing that I'm a little concerned about is my knowledge is as limited as yours is on who they are, but they also were attached to the Buffy
That's
TV
right, yeah.
revamp, but then that's not happening or something.
Nope.
So that's got me concerned as to what that means.
Yeah, they were the writers on the Buffy reboot, and the network, whoever was going to release it, passed on it. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, was it a bad script or was there something else? Did they just,
Right.
I don't know.
Could be money. But I want to ask you a question, though, because that brings up an interesting point. So, we had Kevin Williamson and that one guy whose last name is, oddly enough, Kruger, who wrote like the first 4 Scream movies. And then we had Scream 5 and 6 done by, I forgot the guy's name.
Radio Silence or something like that.
Yeah, but there's like a guy named Guy Busick or something like that.
Oh, okay,
who's like, I don't know, maybe more of the main writer of it.
Yeah.
But he was even attached to Scream 7. So we've kind of had the same writer for the last few movies with Kevin helping on the 7th one. So my question to you really is like, are you excited about new writing blood? You know what I mean? Somebody new to the franchise to see where it goes, or do you want to recycle the same writers and kind of keep the same trends going?
Well, I'm just happy with any new Scream movies. I don't care. I mean, as long as they feel like a Scream movie, I don't care who's writing it. I'm willing to give these new people a chance.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not like, let's see I'm not like a stickler for keeping to the same writers and so I don't really care so much. I enjoyed the last couple of Scream movies, but I think I like, obviously I like the ones with Wes Craven better. But I don't know. Yeah, and I think I kind of liked 7 a little bit more than the 5 and 6, but don't crucify me. I know everybody out there is like getting ready
Oh man, I had to sit back down. Holy shit. Okay. That's okay. No, that's great. Okay, yeah, I was curious what you would say because I'm kind of like you in a way. Like I'm just happy the franchise is ongoing. We love these characters so much, and any way they can breathe life into the series, I'm all for. And you know, hey, we revealed our last episode was on Scream 7. We both like Scream 7. And I think it's like the more you watch the Scream movies, even if you love them a little more the more you watch them. And so I guess I shouldn't be so surprised that we're already talking Scream 8 news. And I'm like, geez, 7 is still in theater, bro. Like, that's crazy. Like, it's not so crazy as to hear, like, oh, a sequel has already been greenlit because of the success of the prior film. Like, that's been forever, right? That's how horror really works. That's why we have sequels. It's the most lucrative genre of sequels is horror. But it's interesting because you look at like critics and audience responses to things. And so it just makes me wonder like, okay, how does that work out? Like, how do you turn to go, okay, we're going to go with these people to write, you know what I mean? Or this person to write our next movie. It's like, oh, I wonder, did they already like pitch an idea? Was it something original? Was it something really cool? Or, you know, is it a bidding war? I don't have any inside information to that, but it's just crazy how fast it happens.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, um, I think with like the main Scream like fan base, like this movie, part seven kind of wasn't as good as far, wasn't as well received, but it made so much money. So did it get better received at like with like mainstream audiences that aren't necessarily Scream fans? Like,
Mm. Oh, just
um,
like your overall horror, like
yeah,
casual watcher. Okay.
so is there like an audience for like outside of us fanboys? Is there like a wider audience that maybe different writers might cater to those people, and that's probably what they're trying to do? I'm okay, yeah. So that could take Scream into a weird territory, something that may take it to a the bad place. I don't know. um, but I'm open to trying it. I'll give them a chance. And for me, like Scream is a very consistent franchise for the most part, and I'm not really too scared of like new people taking on the helm. I think it's
Right.
going to be what it is. I'm just happy to have a new Scream movie. Um,
Like it or not, it's happening.
yeah, I mean with like Halloween,
You know what
Friday
I
the
want?
13th. What's that?
I'm like, oh, okay, so you got a pair of sisters right in the movie.
Hmm.
You should totally bring back the Carpenter sisters. Let's
Oh
go.
yeah,
I'm in. Give me
yeah. I
some
think
more Melissa Barrera, please. She was great.
unfortunately, unfortunately, I think as long as there's with Spyglass still, it ain't happening. Maybe if somebody else acquired the rights to the Scream
Right.
franchise, maybe.
Yeah, you're probably right, man.
But yeah.
Did you like that joke I sent you the other day where it was like it was a meme that had the Impractical Jokers on there and it's like we need you to put Stu in Scream 7 and get everybody really excited and then it shows AI Stu and then they're all dying laughing.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
that meme hit home so hard, dude. I was totally
Hmm.
fell for all of it.
Now for me, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I like at this point. I don't know if I wanted to bring Stu back again. I don't know if I. I'm trying to
I say
decide.
no. I think
Yeah,
after what has happened in the recent movie, close enough. Let's move on. I mean, and you
yeah,
and I are stew lovers. You and I wanted it, but there is a such thing as like whipping a dead horse, and it's just like, okay, well,
yeah.
you know, we've danced around it for a really long time. Let's just see what else there is, and maybe that's
True.
new writers. Maybe that's what we're gonna get. So,
Yeah, maybe these new writers, maybe they've seen Friday the 13th Part 6 where Jason gets electrocuted and brought back to life. So maybe, they're gonna
oh man, yeah,
Fra-
maybe.
no, no,
Jeez.
they're gonna Frankenstein a old kill Billy Loomis or something. I don't know.
The TV didn't kill him. Let's electrocute him. Oh my God, we brought him back.
Yeah.
It's oh fuck, what was it? Ernest in jail. Ernest goes to jail.
Oh,
It's
oh
just
man,
like shooting lightning out of his hands.
yeah, that would be crazy, man. We're off the rails, but that's great.
Yeah, I
This
know
is
people are like, I thought this was a Slugs episode.
oh yeah. By the way, on to the main event.
The main event.
It all began in a peaceful community, a place that had never known evil until now. But 20 years ago, in the stillness beneath these waters, something happened. And now, its deadly spawn has been released, coming up from the depths, out into the light. Slugs. First, they got into the water system. Now they'll get into your system.
Oh my God!
They ooze.
There's something down there that's killing people.
They slime.
We got a new dead body showing up every 10 minutes.
They kill.
We're dealing with a mutant form of slug here, a kind that eats meat.
It has 3 or 4 rows of teeth.
Don't turn on the tap. Don't go in the basement. No, get out! Steer clear of the sewers. And whatever you do, don't make out while your parents aren't home. Slugs. It may be the most shocking movie you will ever see. Slugs.
So yeah, our main topic of discussion is the movie I brought to the table, Slugs from 1988. Yeah, I think Dave, this kind of made his skin crawl a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, but I don't know. Like I was kind of looking through Tubi, and I was like, man, this because it's my turn to pick, and I was like, man, I want a cool 80s movie. I'm just feeling like we need to get back into the 80s groove here. And so I just
we spent so much time in the 80s. Let's go back.
Yeah. And I saw Slugs, like, man, I haven't watched that movie forever. And so I just said, let's do Slugs. And I started looking at some of the cast, like, wait a minute, this is the same guy that directed Pieces. I'm like, whoa.
Yep.
So that was cool. And it just kind of gives you an idea of what you're in for. With the gore and some nudity, and yeah. It's everything you love. Yeah.
I was really actually excited you picked it because this is a movie I've never seen, but it was a VHS cover that I used to always see in the video store. And I used to often confuse it with Squirm, which is another movie with maybe slugs or worms. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I'd seen Squirm and never Slugs, but I would just confuse the two so often. And so when you were like, and the way Andy and I do it, it's like, all right, it's your turn to pick the next movie. We'll literally just send the movie poster, right, of it. So when that poster popped up, you immediately took me back to the video store, and I'm like, absolutely, yes, let's do it. And so it's always great to find horror movies on Tubi. You got Shudder and you got Tubi; those are freaking fantastic. But yeah, I have no problem admitting that movies about like bugs and stuff like that can definitely get to you. That gross factor hits, and then there's just sometimes places where insects don't need to be crawling. You know what I mean?
Especially in your salad. Oh,
or your butthole. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
two things that don't mix: a sex scene and slugs.
yeah. Yeah. So, if you've seen, most people that are listening have probably seen Pieces because we've talked about it
I hope so,
before.
because we both love Pieces. So good.
So you kind of know the fuckery that you're in for, with this director.
And some body horror, dude.
Yeah. So
People think of Cronenberg for body horror. We got to start paying attention to what this guy does too.
yeah. So this movie really goes off the rails. Yeah, it's a horror movie about slugs. You're like, oh, that doesn't sound too. It sounds like a typical creature feature. Okay. But yeah, this movie kind of like really takes it to an 11 as far as like everything, the violence, the sex. Well, yeah, sex, yeah. But
There's no sex and violence. Sorry.
but yeah, I'm sure that this movie didn't really help my case with Julie. I'm sure. Did you watch this with Julie?
Of course I did.
She's gonna be like, man, Andy really likes boobs, right?
Yeah. Julie and I have a system that we started doing now where we do like a double feature.
Yeah.
And it's I pick a movie, she picks a movie, regardless of what we choose. Like, whatever you choose is what we're watching. And so our double feature for the night was Slugs and then How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. So we started with Slugs. So I think since we ended with How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, it was all good.
Okay. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
You know what's great about this movie, Andy,
What's
is it's a movie you can turn your brain off to. Like it's literally about a whole bunch of people in a small town that get attacked by mutated slugs. It's simple.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that.
Mm-hmm. It's funny the way this movie plays out. It reminded me of another movie from 1988, the Blob remake.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I think with some of the set pieces that we have in this movie, it reminded me of some of
effects.
some of the stuff from the Blob. Yeah.
I was getting a lot of, like Chud vibes and Alligator.
Oh, yeah. The sewer.
Basically,
yeah.
in the 80s, you just don't go in the sewers. Nothing good comes from it.
Exactly.
But, yeah, man, I tell you, this movie kind of grabbed me right away because in the opening, you have an almost like Friday the 13th scene where you have a couple like out on the water and it looks like maybe we're about to get some skinny dipping or something. And he's in the water and he's splashing around. And then of course you get that classic like he goes underwater like as if he's being pulled down and she's kind of undressing and she stops because she's worried about him. The guy's name is Wayne, and we get the classic trope of like bloody water. And anytime you're gonna do that, I just get so excited for the practical effects. And when you open your movie on a kill, hey, we're continuing a great Scream tradition. I love movies that open with death.
Yeah. Yeah, such a kind of a cool scene to open up with. I mean, this guy, he falls into the water and immediately like this blood fountain erupts out of the water. It was cool. So, yeah, yeah. Then we get the Slugs title card, the
Yeah, it
with
looks like
the
a negative film or something.
yeah, like a negative shot of slug crawling around. And I was wondering like are these like real slugs or are they like little fake slugs? I guess they had a little bit of both when they made this movie.
Right. I assume by the budget, they probably used as many slugs as they could actually get their hands on instead of creating as many. But to keep the actors safe, we know that they had to use some fake slugs. But there was definitely real slugs throughout this movie. Make no mistake. If bugs freak you out, this movie's gonna do it to you. But you want to know what freaks me out, Andy? Is people who live in squalor, like Ron Bell in the next scene.
Oh
Gross.
man. Yeah, what a guy. He's mean to his dog. Was that his dog? I don't know.
It was a dog.
It was a dog and he like was like kind of leading along, but then the dog didn't want to go in the house. It's like, "Oh, my house isn't good enough for you. You can stay outside, you mangy mutt," or whatever he calls it.
Yeah,
And
yeah. That dog disowned him, and rightfully so, because
yeah,
I think the dog lives. He
I think
doesn't.
so.
The dog lives, the dude doesn't. And my God, Andy, I mean, and we're not talking like, oh, he's a hoarder. No, dude, I'm talking like this dude is just straight up nasty. Like, I don't even think his electricity was turned on. He
No,
just lived in the dark and he had like the pizza boxes everywhere with pizza still in there. It was very disgusting.
yeah, and he had like an eviction notice on his front door, I think, or some kind of condemned
Yeah.
notice or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he just like tears it off and walks into his house and total slob. Yeah, he's and how you always say you want a basement. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
this guy, he wants a basement, but the reason why he wants a basement is to have a place to throw all of his trash.
No kidding. It'd be a good place to let some slugs hang out too.
Oh yeah, the slugs, man, they love that old moldy pizza he threw down there.
Yeah, you know what they love more? His couch, apparently.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like no sooner did he lay down, he's like getting a taste, like
Yeah, and this dude's also got like he reminded me of the lady from Black Christmas. He had like an alcohol bottle hiding in every corner. Also, like the mom from Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm like, oh man, when a person's
Oh
drinking
yeah,
like this, you know something bad's gonna happen to him.
yeah,
But that was pretty funny to see him kind of flailing on his couch, and it also got me just kind of shaking a little bit. I'm like, ugh, that's nasty.
hmm
So, and then you got next day, we get our main character, dude, named Mike Brady of all things. So if you're a fan of the
yeah,
Brady Bunch, you're like, hey, I recognize that name. But Mike Brady's, it's a health inspector, right?
yeah. I think he's like with the wastewater department.
I think he's the health inspector because him
Okay,
and the sheriff go over to the house to victim.
that's right. Yeah, because he's going with the sheriff, and I couldn't quite understand. I think I wasn't paying attention or something, but
That's
he,
good.
yeah, he went with the sheriff to evict that guy Ron or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Ron Bell.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sheriff, his name is Sheriff Reese. Man, he doesn't like anybody.
no, that guy was a jerk.
He was. I put down Sheriff Asshole in my notes, but I
Yeah,
tell you what, though, Mike Brady is a real likable character. I like him as the main guy. Him and his buddy Don are pretty cool.
yeah, I like those two guys. They're kind of like the uh, Cheech and Chong of horror cinema. I don't know. I'm not.
Okay,
No, they're not really like that. No, that wasn't the right. They're like the
dude, they were kind of like Daniel Stern and John Hurd from Chud.
exactly. Yeah,
The
yeah.
way they roll together, yeah, it works. Cheech and
It
Chong, close,
was a cool duo. Yeah.
for a while anyway.
Hell
But
yeah.
and we get to meet Kim Brady, Mike's wife. She's really cool, and she's a school teacher. That'll come into play later because we get to
Mhm.
deal with some high school students throughout this movie who want to get their party on, and we get to meet a scientist, which is kind of cool. I always like when horror movies bring in scientists and try to get all
Yeah.
kinds of smart. And one scene that's pretty crazy is we get to see, Mike and Kim Brady are kind of our main couple, and they're at this, I guess, almost like a lodge or something, where maybe a bar, and we get to meet some other characters there, David and Maureen Watson, and that's a pretty interesting friend group, man. Maureen Watson's kind of weird.
Yeah, she likes to drink.
She loves to drink, and she thinks her town is boring as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, she likes to party and there ain't no partying going. Not enough to suit her, I guess.
No, she's
And
a wild child, my dude.
yeah, and yeah,
Don't let her make you a salad, Andy.
oh, I know, man, that was really gross, but yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, it's kind of a fancy restaurant that we all kind of get introduced to this little friend group and but the teacher and her husband, they're like leaving as the drunk and her man are just coming in. The salesman and the drunk. I forget. That's all I know. It's like the guy that's trying to get the deal done and his drunk
Yeah.
wife. That's
Yeah, they're the Watsons. You
Watson. Yeah,
can't forget his name, my dude. It's David.
David. Okay, it's
It's
gotcha.
close.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But a scene that I really like is with Harold and Jean Morris, and Harold Morris is a gardener, man, and he's over in his greenhouse getting some gardening done, and he goes to put on his gardening glove, and won't you know it, there's a killer slug inside that bites his finger. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's an important lesson, kids. You always check your gloves for slugs before you put them on.
That's right, and your socks. Fuck it, why not? But
Yeah.
my dude, um, what starts as bad just continues to get worse because
Yeah.
it gets to a point where he's like, I might as well chop my hand off.
Yeah. He like goes to like try to he like tried to attack the slug with a knife, but then he just starts trying to hack his hand off. And this also reminds me of the blob a little bit, that homeless guy
Yeah.
that had the blob on his hand was doing that. And yeah, like he's trying to hack his hand off, and he like knocks stuff over, knocks chemicals over, starts a fire.
Well, yeah, because it probably hurts like hell.
Yeah, his wife comes in and she sees him flailing around, so she goes to help him, but then like this fire is like spreading very rapidly because of course they have fertilizer, whatever other chemicals are in this greenhouse,
And
and
then
there's
a
a
big
can.
old tank of gas.
Yeah, and the whole thing just blows up. Pretty cool
Yeah.
effects. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they blew up an actual house, right? I think it was like a
No,
model
it
or
was a
something.
miniature.
Yeah, but that was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, that's like four people who've already died
Yeah, yeah,
at the hands of some slugs.
yeah.
But you know who gets to die next, Andy?
Who's that?
Bobby and Tina, the scene we've been waiting for.
Yeah, we see them a little bit earlier in the movie. He's kind of Bob's kind of Bob. You said
Bobby?
Bobby. Bobby's kind of like a punk. He doesn't want to listen to his teacher. Calls her the wicked bitch of the north or something like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Tina, she just wants to be with Bobby, and so they like to party too. So they
Yeah,
should.
it's one of those things where I think Donna waits for her parents to leave, or some people who are old enough to
Yeah,
be her
it's like
grandparents to leave.
yeah, they're like way old. And where are they
Yeah,
going? Like at 9 o'clock at night or whatever? Like
I
these
know. Like to bed, I thought, but
yeah,
no. No, you missed Matlock.
yeah,
But dude, her boyfriend, who's a total asshole, was giving me a mixture of vibes. Check it out. So aesthetically, he kind of looked like what the fuck was his name? I'm gonna have to look it up. I hate that I'm not prepared enough, but I didn't make the connection in my head till right now. Let's go here. You're gonna see what I'm doing with this, and hopefully you'll just nod and be like, "Yeah." All right. So her boyfriend had the aesthetics of Tommy Ross from Carrie. Remember
yeah.
the curly blonde haired
Oh yeah,
guy?
yep.
But his attitude was more like Billy Nolan, who was the John
Mm,
Travolta asshole character.
that's true. Yeah.
See what I did there? A little Carrie
Hmm.
love?
Yeah.
Okay. But Andy, I mean, at least they died happy because they got to do the deed.
Yeah. Yeah, they were kind of like getting it on, and then oh, he steps down off the bed, but then he gets a slug in his foot, and it's like
Yeah, it, like
immediately
bites his foot. Yeah.
the slug is like immediately dug into his foot. It's kind of gross, like ugh. And then the girl Tina, she like falls off the bed, right? Or she
Yeah.
and he's just trying to stay on the bed because he sees what's happened to her. She immediately like starts getting eaten by the slugs, and they like eat half of her face is missing, and
the way that these slugs stick to you kind of made me consider them leeches in a way. Like that made
Hmm.
more sense. But yeah, it's like
Yeah.
once you come in contact with them, they don't let you go. And Andy, I don't know if this is true, but I thought I had read somewhere that slugs ha have like 28,000 teeth.
Oh, that's like nightmare fuel, man.
Yeah, so good luck sleeping tonight in your slug bed.
Yeah. But yeah, so Bobby, he tries to like jump over him or something, or
Yeah, he makes a dash for the window, butt naked.
yeah, but he doesn't make it.
No, and
Yeah.
instead you get to see like she's on the ground and she's covered in blood, which looks like red paint, and she's flailing around and she's eaten alive. He dashes for the window, doesn't make it, but it's so classic to see his hand like just touch the window and then slowly slide down the glass and the wall as he's consumed by the slugs. And so, we were at four, now we're already at six people killed by slugs, and you can't help but feel bad for him, man. Because
Yeah, I mean this
where
movie
are these
has
slugs coming from?
yeah, it's kind of a little mystery there. It's like, is this town just really that sluggy, or is there something bringing them around? I don't know.
Were we was this town built on an Indian slug burial ground?
Yeah, really, man. Growing up, my grandma's porch, like she had just had a little stoop, a concrete stoop that was kind of like part of it was kind of cracked and like so there was like a gap under it.
Yeah.
And man, whenever it would rain or whatever, all these slugs would come out, and it was
Oh
gross.
shit. That's nasty, dude.
Yeah,
And one thing that we do notice is these slugs are like larger than normal. Now they're not, 6 foot slugs or anything. That's like a 1950s movie, but I guess to keep with practicality, they try to make these slugs what, like maybe 6 inches long or something.
yeah, there's something like that. Yeah, these were definitely pretty chunky slugs. Yep.
They kind of look like giant turds, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, man, eventually, like with all these deaths happening, obviously Mike is really concerned, and there's even a point where the slugs make it into his house too. He sees them coming out of the faucet, like in the kitchen sink, right?
Yeah, that's right. I think his wife actually kind of calls him
Yep.
and like says, "Come home. It's an emergency." And so he goes home, and yeah, he's got the slugs. He's kind of trying not to. He's trying to tell her, "Oh, it's no big deal," but he's really kind of freaking out, and he's trying to like warn everybody, warn all the town officials, and
Sure.
nobody cares because everybody is too busy making money, trying
Yeah.
to
And
close
I'm
these
like, it's the
deals.
damn health inspector. Isn't that important?
Yeah.
Take his word for it. But Andy, we get to a point where we finally get a scene with Maureen and David Watson where she is a wino, dude. She's like drinking the whole
Yeah.
day away, falls asleep on the couch. He comes home from work and she's like, oh shit, I was supposed to make dinner. And so she goes in the kitchen to make a salad, which, I mean, you need to make something quick. Spaghetti and salad are probably two of your safest choices outside of a sandwich. But my dude, at some point, a slug had made it into this like head of lettuce, and so when she's chopping the salad, you see her chopping the slug, and I was just like, well shit, that looks like olives to me.
Yeah, because so when she gets home from the grocery store, she takes the lettuce heads out and immediately puts them in the sink. Like, who does that? I mean, I
Yeah.
assuming that she was gonna wash them off or something, but she puts them in the sink right by the drain, and so that's where the slugs get into it from. And I guess her intention was to wash off the lettuce, but she falls asleep on the couch. She turns on the TV, pours herself a drink, and lays down on the couch, and that's the end of story.
Yeah, and she makes this salad, and this is what killed me is, eventually they eat the dinner, I assume, but at some point, I guess the wine's hitting because she starts to be in the mood and she's trying to come on to her husband, and he's just like, "Nah, my stomach hurts," and we all know what's going on there, but we don't know what it's going to lead to. But I remember Julie looked at me and she's like, "Why is she not affected?" And so I remember thinking to
Oh yeah.
myself, like, man. Is she the like person who's like, oh, I'll just have a drink, and she didn't eat the salad and she just drank the alcohol? I couldn't remember if I actually saw her eat the salad, but if she did, then that's a plot hole.
That's true. Yeah, like why didn't she get affected? Like, yeah, it makes me wonder if she just didn't eat. She just was, drinking her
Yeah.
dinner.
She's like, I'm not eating that shit. There were slugs in it. But, we mentioned that, people like to do business here and closing big deals. And David is the guy who's trying to seal the deal. So it's like next day he goes to a restaurant and he's meeting with people trying to sell these business plans. I don't know if he's a contractor or whatnot, but he starts to get kind of gassy, and at one point his nose just starts to bleed. He's like taking a drink and his glass starts to fill with blood. If you guys check us out on TikTok, you'll see a picture. I made a joke where I was like, "This is Andy when he drinks V8 juice." Come to find out, Andy likes V8 juice. Did not know that, so that was a fun little
Yeah.
tidbit. But it doesn't stop there. Andy, what happens to David?
Oh man, this guy he starts like convulsing and screaming and in the middle of this restaurant, with his clients right there and everything, and he falls back onto the floor and his face just like his eyeballs explode, I think, and
Yeah.
his face explodes. All these worms like come out. It's great.
It's like the last thing you want to see in a restaurant is something bug related, and this will ruin you for life, my dude. But the
Oh
effects
yeah.
are so damn impressive and gross. I do love it very, very much. And yeah, when his eyes explode, it's like pus pockets of blood. I was just like, damn, that is amazing. Keep doing
Yeah.
it. But needless to say, I don't think the deal's going to go through.
Well, that's what we think, but then
Right.
they're not too the clients aren't too bothered by this really. I mean, because
That's very concerning.
they're like they just kind of meet up with the mayor like right after this and go ahead and sign the deal, I think.
Dude, so we talked about how like the sheriff sucks, the mayor sucks too.
Oh yeah, because Mike is trying to warn everybody. He goes to the mayor's office. He goes to there's like another guy's office he goes to and tries to convince him, but neither one of them are having any part of it. They're like, ah, get out of here. And because Mike and his buddy they
Don,
discover
right?
that Don,
Yeah.
Dave,
Mike and Don, yeah.
Don, yeah, they uh they have this like city map and they kind of trace all the attacks. It started at the reservoir and it's like slowly
Hmm.
working its way into town. And so they kind of have this idea that there was like something dumped into the reservoir, like chemical waste or something that mutated the slugs, and they go into this whole thing. But yeah, so he's trying to like warn the town officials about this, and they're like, we don't care. Mutant slugs, that's not a big deal. So
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for the people that turned it down because they're usually the ones who get it. And Mayor Eaton, though, Eaton, that's kind of funny because he was Eaton. Anyway,
yeah,
he call him Mayor asshole, but yeah, he's like our eighth death in this movie. He gets an off-screen kill, but we knew it was going to happen because right after Mike shows up and tells him, it's in the reservoir, it's, in the pipes. So this is shut the water off. And he's like, no, you're crazy. Get out of here. The camera kind of pans over to the bathroom, and I think we see Slugs like on his toilet. And I was just like, oh gosh, please don't show us somebody on the toilet because I'll never be able to use the bathroom again, bro. That's
yeah.
terrifying. I don't need
I,
a Ghoulies moment, I promise.
I was waiting for it, but yeah,
Oh, you were disappointed.
yeah.
But
Wow.
dude, the ninth death in this movie to me is like the saddest one because we get to meet up with like
Yeah,
the surviving teenagers that we have, and they're at like a get together outside. Come to find out, it's like a Halloween party, so it's just
yeah.
cool that this is taking place on Halloween. But
Yeah.
I remember we did see like a jack-o'-lantern and something here, but I don't remember seeing too many decorations
No,
everywhere.
there
So
was there was no decorations throughout the whole movie, and they had this quote unquote Halloween party. Somebody stuck a jack-o'-lantern on a car, and that was basically it.
and action.
Yeah,
But yeah, you get the classic teens in the woods making out. Only it's the boyfriend who wants to do it. The girlfriend does not. She says he's moving too fast. He's like, "Yeah, well, you're teased, basically. Screw you. I'm out of here." Total jackass. Honestly, don't
yeah.
be that way, people. But then, like, we see this other guy who we've seen him before, and he's kind of been like the freak in the background. He decides he's going to put on a mask and try to assault her, which, yeah, don't do that either. And
Yeah.
she like fights away, but Andy, does she like kind of fall into a sewer? Is that what I remember?
Yeah, I don't know what this is. It's some kind of like something. Some was a stairway going down underground or something, or just some
Maybe
hatch,
so.
some sewer access. I don't know what this thing is, but it's some hole in the ground, and she falls into it and immediately gets eaten by the slugs. Like, dang,
Yeah, we get a scene where she like gets dragged off by him.
and totally undeserved. I mean, she,
That's
with
what
every
I'm saying. Like again, I mean, why couldn't it have been the attacker?
yeah, really, that would
That
have
would
been
have
a
been
lot.
like a just desserts moment, right?
Yeah. Instead, we
But
see the attacker going off and meeting up with his friends, and I guess
Yeah.
one of the friends did actually want to go look for her because he was concerned about her. So he did
Yeah,
get.
there was one cool guy at
Mhm.
least. But so the teen who we lost, her name was Pam. She fell in the sewer, dragged away by slugs. Sorry, Pam. But we're gonna get to what's really cool. I really like it when you go investigating in the sewers. Like you see a lot of cool things. And earlier in the movie, we saw there was like animal remains and sludge and all kinds of stuff. And I talked about the scientist earlier named John Foley. He came up with some kind of like arsenic or something where you can blow slugs up, kill all these slugs. And we decide that we need to do that. And so Don and Mike, being the Cheech and Chong, as Andy will say, are going to be our heroes of the movie. And so they go down into the sewer system to set ablaze some slugs. And Andy, for a while, I was really liking what happened because we even got a scene where they like cut some cables and electrocuted the slugs.
Yeah, they're pretty quick on their feet, to think of different ways to try to kill these slugs. But they had this plan, like they need to draw the slugs into this central chamber,
Sure.
big sewer chamber thing. And so they take some raw meat, that sack of raw meat down there, and they're just like trying
Total
to,
Jaws moment, right? Throw
yeah,
some
and they're
chud in the water.
chucking it in the water. Yeah, and all these slugs to start, attacking it. And yeah, and then once they get them all to this one place, then the scientist up top is going to drop the chemical on them and blow them up. But
Did they
yeah,
take a fire truck? Do I remember that correctly? They have like a fire truck and they're going to use like the fire hose to shoot the arsenic stuff down there?
I don't remember that, but it could be.
Okay. I feel like I'm close to right, but I could be totally wrong. Again, movie about slugs, whatever. But the thing about Pam was so sad, and the next thing that happens is so sad because Andy,
Yeah.
I had no fucking clue that Don was gonna die in this movie. He was so likable.
Yeah, he was. I mean, and before he left to go help Mike, he was talking to his wife, and he's like, "Hey, when I get back, let's get naked and let's get crazy or something like that." It's like, oh dang, but he's not even gonna get to go home and get crazy with his wife. It's so
No,
sad.
man. And it sucks because like he went down there to save everybody. I mean, it wasn't even his idea, you know? He just agreed to go because he's a good friend. And they pretty much do everything correct. The only thing that happens is they open up this one like latch door and a shit ton of water comes rushing out, and that's what pushes Don like back because he didn't expect it as waterfall to come down, and it throws him into the central location of where all the slugs were. And my dude, you talked about earlier when the first guy got pulled in the water and you got a blood fountain. The same thing happens here, but times a million. This scene was incredible.
Yeah, and this is another scene that reminds me of the Blob because after he gets pulled down to the water, all the slugs are on him, and then his like partially eaten corpse like pops back up out of the water, and he's kind of like
Yes.
screaming like that kid does in the Blob. Yeah, it's been pretty cool effects, man. Really.
Oh yeah, and skin's like halfway eaten off. Like it's really disturbing. And it sucks that, Mike lost his buddy, but Mike does make and he tried to help him too. Remember he like crawls across that pipe and
Yeah,
then like
yeah,
flips upside down and reaches down. I was just like, get him, man.
yeah. It's like American Ninja Warrior or something. Yeah.
Yeah, something pretty insane. It also was giving me vibes of like Warriors of Virtue. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but that's a fantasy movie from the 90s about kangaroos that I really love.
Oh,
Somebody out
okay.
there's like, that sounds weird. Like, just roll with me on this. It's true. But yeah, man, Mike makes it out, joins John Foley. They light the slugs on fire and essentially kill them all, to the best of their knowledge. And, it's kind of crazy to do that because you wonder, like, how far is that fire going to travel and what's going to blow up? But Andy, they, unfortunately, they did not kill every single slug.
Hell no, they didn't. You think you can kill a bunch of slugs with some fire? You
Did you
gotta get.
think that we were setting up for a Slugs 2?
It looks like it because there's one little slug left on the sewer grate. It's like, oh boy, here we go.
Bro, and the way that camera zoomed in, I expected that slug to start laughing. I
Oh, that would have been, or
was
like
just
open
like,
its mouth and show its teeth or something.
yeah, yeah. And then, because, I mean, at that point, it's almost like getting a Chud 2 where they went the comedy
Oh
route.
yeah,
I'm like, we're going to get a Slugs 2? I mean, shit, it's 2026. We can have a requel, can't we?
yeah. So was this? Do you know if this is just a theater movie at all, or was this just direct to video?
I don't know, because I went to look at to see if I can find budget and stuff, and then IMDb didn't have any of that info in there. So, and I mean, this is the kind of movie that seemed like holy shit, the budget was big enough to warrant going to theater because Pieces probably went to theater, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
And see, this
I
is
would
one of those
imagine
movies
so.
though. It's mixed between America and Spain, so
Mhm.
depending where, because it was released like almost 8 months apart between the two countries.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It came out earlier in '88 here, and then later in '88 in Spain. But it did garner an award, which is cool. It won for the best special effects, which is noted. It should be.
Yeah, it was like in the Spanish Oscars or something, right?
Yeah, man. Which great.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you got to give it to him. The special effects, the practical effects in this movie are really good.
I know that the director is the same. I wonder if the same guy worked on Pieces because I'd believe it if you told me,
Yeah,
effects
yeah.
wise. But
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's Slugs. Like, there's not a lot to it. You get, kind of a bittersweet happy ending, I guess. But the movie's only like hour and a half, hour 40 minutes at best. I mean, it's totally digestible and it moves at a pretty fast pace outside of it being Slugs, which is a slow pace. But I mean, like, I was happy to watch it, and it's something I'd watch again just because it is fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a cool movie. It's a cool 80s creature feature.
It is, and like I said, it pairs well with Squirm and Alligator and Chud and the Blob. So if that's your cup of tea, definitely worth checking out. And shit, like we said, it's on Tubi for free. But Andy, that means I get to pick the next one, so I'm gonna have to start digging.
That's right. Yeah.
What's really funny, guys, is I'll be like we just did this episode. I'll have already been thinking for 2 weeks about what I want to choose next. Andy doesn't do that. And so I'm like, Andy, you get the next episode. And he's like, oh, dang. Okay. And then I'll get a text message like in 10 minutes. Like, how about this? Like, I swear, I think it's true. I think you pull up Tubi and like the first thing you see that makes you raise an eyebrow, you're like, I choose this. No research, no nothing. Andy's like, I found my movie. And I'm like, damn, that was fast. And I love that because a lot of times it's something that I'll forget about or maybe won't even try. And then boom, you put it on my radar and here we are. That's why we have a mixture of episodes, movies here.
Yeah. Cool,
So
man.
that's cool. You got anything else about Slugs?
No, no, I don't think so.
All right. Well, if you guys have a garden, look out for slugs that might be swimming in toxic waste because they got 28,000 teeth and they will fuck you up. But outside of that, we're just happy you guys are here. Thank you for checking us out. I'm Phantom Dark Dave,
And I'm Abnormal Andy.
and you've been listening to the Scream and Skull podcast.
See ya.